on the heart of every roleplay server is the bank. It's usually one of the most areas that gets all the roleplay that happens on the server. It's always sort of one of the first few places where new players that join go. And the idea on Blaine County Roleplay was we didn't want it in the heart of Fort Carson. We decided to stick it on the edge of the town, and it covers this house here. Oh, that loaded in slow. This was the second design that was done, and the design that was went with. It was a more modern looking bank compared to some of them, with wide open windows and sort of the views that look out onto the street around. One of the designs of having the windows that are smashable was that there's always some form of roleplay of bank robberies and stuff that goes on. That's why it was decided to go with the windows that look into, that give a good coverage and ability to look into almost every corner of the bank, and also and have the ability for what was new at the time in 2014, but it probably isn't very new now, of the ladder that can be placed anywhere, and it would allow the SWAT team entrance into the buildings, especially up onto the upper floor, which is why it was all mapped with the smashable windows. So if we go in... Oh, I did not know it could do that. Hang on, I've just discovered something new. 6 years after, I've just discovered something new on it. So we start on the upstairs. The upstairs here is just a very little open office area with a few plant pots and a balcony that looks down onto the actual the ground floor of the bank, and then a little waiting area with some plants and just magazines and books. Very open air concept. Above the teller area is just plant pots or flower beds even, that doesn't really have much mapping as it wasn't really an area to be seen. The ground floor itself, obviously you've got your ATMs to the side, and then another little waiting area with the outlook onto actual Fort Carson itself, and then a few a Rusty Ring brown donuts and the Well-Stacked Pizza Co. Well-Stacked Pizza Co. Advertising on the side, and then a few tables, and then a few little areas where obviously the commands would be to go up and access the bank. And then here, like the little bank manager's area of the bank, again with the wide open window that looks out onto the street. There's a few CCTV cameras dotted around, obviously, as it would be, a bank as such. The actual rest of the bank, there isn't that much mapping to it, to be honest. The teller side is just the standard desks, and then obviously this side here was cheated upon and just used the standard mapping that all the banks on sort of servers seem to use, of the stairwell leading down into the vault area, obviously with even more cameras. This one mapping seems to have the doors mapped in, obviously with use of commands. I can't remember what we decided on the ability to break open the doors on, but would open the doors. And then in here, obviously the safety deposit boxes. Which is obviously the Cataliga's casino mapping, which has just been reused as the standard mapping on most banks for most banks on SAMP servers. I do remember that it did get a lot of complaints as such, because it was stated to be too modern for the server for a small town, and it did also remove if we unclear it, remove these telegraph part wires, and I know a few people did complain that it did that. Oh, got the wrong button altogether. A few people did complain it did that, but it's what was done at the end of the day. And yeah, that's the review of the bank mapping, I guess.